Live. Just wanted to make this short stream to say thank you to the support I received in my latest video, and I'm wrapping my case. Oops, I need to get the sounds. And I think I'm done with YouTube. I see no reason to go much further because everything that should be researched needs cooperation, and it seems I don't have any. Just people trolling and insulting my intelligence, which is quite pity. I expected a little bit more, but that's okay. I did my part. I did my thing. So my videos will be out there. Hopefully, people will reach it eventually. And for now on, I'm not going to be that receptive guy that keeps commenting, replying to comments. Because now I'm going to do the first thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to look at your channel. I'm going to look at your related channels, who very interesting, a lot of letters, and I'm going to look at your discussion panel. So this is an example that I should not reply, and I replied, and waste of time. So this is what I'm going to do for now on the comments on my videos. I don't have patience for stupid arguments completely. So I'm gonna dedicate more time to my job. That's my passion. The other passion is truth, but truth here is very compartmentalized. And I seem to be a good role model for many people out there. I see some mirror images, very interesting. Good, I'm flattened. But sorry, I'm not going to bring any more content. I debunked all the money models I've been through. Even Stephen Christ didn't like this last video, since he came to my video and used this best ad hominem he had. Very interesting. Kill myself. Yeah, you can wait on that. God will choose that, not you. So yeah, I debunked flat Earth. Also, that one is very easy to debunk. The concave is it's not so easy because it's the mirror image of the geocentric model, which is very interesting. I wish I was a good animator of graphics, because in my head I completely inverted all of Steven's model and put it on the correct way. It's very ingenious. I may grant him that he's very ingenious on his model, but too bad his personality is God personality spoils it. So that model also is not going a lot further. But yeah, the geocentric keeps getting ignored and completely ignored and ignored. Very interesting. It's so easy to come out and debunk that model. Present evidence. Look, this is not, the Earth is not geocentric. The Earth is this. no evidence comes out. So one must question that. Why doesn't it have evidence to disprove it? Like flat earthers also keep trying to prove flat earth with bending light at a distance. Light will bend up. It will go up to its source, the sun. It's like a cycle, the Fibonacci cycle of light. But people don't understand that because science tells them that light travels in a straight line and has the speed of light. Of course, people will always continue to be fooled. That's too bad. If light would travel straight, we would see almost 400 miles ahead. No, 400 miles, no. That's 400 kilometers. That's the to see if the light travels straight, but it doesn't. And it's very specific to the sun location, very specific. And those guys show those videos of the tides showing the bump. It's the high tide and the low tide. But yeah, I think I'm done here. No point going more. I think I have all the interesting thing out there. If you have just one tiny brain cell, you will figure it out. It's simple. I always have one watcher. Is it me or is it somebody else? Very interesting. I have a watcher. Yeah, that's very funny. Too bad I'm not a good video editor. There's a lot of stuff of flat earth that I could mix together. Oh boy, oh boy. I think that way I could be famous also. Because people just want to be entertained. People don't want to think. It's very hard to think. Oh, think. If I think, I will understand that if I do certain things, I will hurt other people. Because if you think, you start to put yourself in other person's. Um, I don't think I'm saying the correct way. You see the other side. Yeah, I think this one also goes. And that's very important. Thinking. Thinking is like feeling. That's why people shut down those two. And as I keep saying, happiness is a state of mind and spirit, not of wealth. That's why no matter how many wealth you get, happiness will not come to you if you keep doing bad stuff to other people, using other people. That's very bad. I don't know if my chill music is being listened. I'm not going to bother questioning because I don't have any replies. I always have a good monologue. I don't mind because I know there are people out there that know what is reality. That's why I cannot get in touch with them. This one is very interesting. This person, I really enjoy his talking, but he should change his tone. He looks like he's very angry. I should also be because I'm being lied to. So I tried to leave a couple of comments on his videos, but I seem to not get a reply back. So even YouTube could be blocking communication with people. I see it a lot. I even try put some comedy comments just to try and see if I'm not funny. It seems I'm not funny at all, which is very interesting. It's like they trying hard to not let my channel be connected, be known. That's too bad. I don't want to be famous. I'm not here pretending to know everything, but I present good arguments backed up with good evidence. So every something that you can also do yourself every day, all day, and have the same result. So that's scientific method, which I don't see any fucking channel here doing that. They are only doing one thing: give me money, be my patron, help me. I need to buy a telescope. I need to do this. I need to do that. Basically, they want to live at your expenses and give you a tiny bit of truth at the beginning so you can be grabbed to it. And then here comes the false and the assumptions and the logical fallacies. Oh boy. Give me money. I want your money. Give me all your money. I will give you the truth. Trust me. You bet on that. That's why they know that. They know that people are very gullible. Everybody wants the easy way. But if you look, even nature doesn't have an easy way. Why should we? That's not natural law. The problem is that the smart ones are not in control now. We are controlled by stupid people all over the world. And there's a country out there with major influences, which is the United States. You guys out there should start to wake up and see the bullshit out there. I actually had some benefits of the doubt about Trump, but as soon as he started talking about Afghanistan and going back there, oh boy, here comes the opium. Somebody is needing oxycontin to drug people. Very good. And you Americans need to start to wake the fuck up and see all those fucking wars were all fucking fake. Those were sovereign countries. They have strict laws. They don't want people having ideas of wealth and richness and be greedy, which is very good. Greedy is not good to society. Look at the world today. It's powered by greed, lust, and all those creepy things. And that's not the way the world should roll. And the Americans should start to wake the fuck up because the Europeans are getting fucked as they were fucked with the diversity, the multiculturalism. They, your troops fucked those countries that were having good lives, people were having good educations, houses, cars, healthcare. They had everything. You went there and destroyed everything. Those countries are nothing now. And you don't wake the fuck up and look that this is all a fucking agenda to screw the multiculturalism that is needed in order to survive. We need to have different cultures. That's how diversity should work. Not all together, but in nations, in countries, like it has always been all these hundreds of years. So these people that are coming to all the countries here, most of them are not from the countries that are getting invaded, that the news, the mainstream media doesn't talk about it. Very interesting. But many of them are not from the invaded, supposed dictatorship countries, and they are coming here to bring terror to Europe also. They want to put people in fear. Fear is their ultimate weapon. No wonder they are going about North Korea and all that stuff. I look at videos that guys film North Korea. I don't see anything special. They are segregated from the world, which I think is very good because the world is rotten. Look at the music industry. Look at everything. We don't need such level exposure. That shit rottens the minds of people. I'm not saying that porn should be illegal. No. If people are well educated, they will understand how reality is. Our body has fluids, and people need to release those fluids. And men have that problem. That's why sometimes men have wet dreams. Women also have those, but not so frequently as men. So that's not a natural order of things. But I think something is wrong with the sexual education. I think we are not being well educated on that point. Just look at the marriages and all the relationships out there. Something is not going well because the rate of so-called success of relationships is very low because people doesn't seem to know how to connect to find the connection because we are like two pieces of the puzzle and we need to fit one another, and that's the difficult part because we are completely not well educated. That's the fucking problem of all this. Sorry for my bad language, but fuck it. I'm tired of being also very polite because that reminds me of political correctness, which is bullshit. Politics is bullshit. Politics today only bases on corporations and banks. Basically, those two, corporations and banks. That's what democracy is all about. If you think it's about the people, think again. You should look at those countries, especially you people that live in the America. Should look at those countries that your troops invaded before they invaded. Should look at the pictures and videos and all the information you could get before the war so you can see what you were really invading. That's the whole problem of this. And it's interesting that all your presidents go to the Israel Association because it seems like Israel is the boss of your country. I don't understand that. For me, it's very strange. Your country as big as yours and being controlled, almost controlled by Israel. It's very strange. You should have a more powerful voice because Europe needs you also. We all need each other to put an end to this change of culture. They want to completely eradicate the intelligent people. They fucked up the races. Now they are going to fuck them even more because they are realizing that there are certain uh, ethnicities out there that are brighter than others, mostly because education, maybe because other parts of the world don't have access to education. So that's a major point for their lack of intellect. That's what they are trying to bring. It's a lack of intellect to people. Just look at the television, man. I don't watch television. If I watch television, I'm starting to get stupid. It's so stupid, man. In these days, you have internet. You can come here and watch every fucking news in the world. I haven't subscribed to all of them, but you can come here and watch all the fucking news and compare it to yourself and see the bullshit that is going there. It's like when certain news are very suspicious, they are like photocopy. And one thing I have nothing against homosexuality. I'm not homosexual, I'm heterosexual, but I don't have anything about it because that's a taste, which tastes don't be argued about. But another thing that I don't accept is this explosion of transgenderism and trans transsexuals and all that stuff. Because I see a lot of young boys, especially boys, that are on that special stage of identity crisis. All of us experience that, but I don't know why they seem to completely go in a very well narrated way because I've watched a lot of those movies about those guys talking about their changes, and I see an interesting thing. It's like photocopies. They all speech the same script. It's like they went to a school and learned that that's the way to do it. Very interesting. And the most important part is that people don't see the other side of this because they are, let's say, 17, 18 now. They change, they do all that stuff. Now let's imagine those people at 40 years and look at us that spend, like me, I have 40. I've changed a lot in my life. I did a lot of shit, like everybody did. I learned from it. I saw that that's not the way. I choose a different path. And along that path, I changed a lot. But my homosexuality, I didn't change. But these people still have one thing that we learn in school that is gender. And that cannot be changed. We have two genders, male and female. nature also works that way. There are people that have both sexes, like some humans also have that phenomenon happening. But if you look at those people in the old age, that transformation is going to be awful. And I did a little research and I saw that the suicide rate is about 40%. So people don't talk about it. It's very bad to do this manipulation. This is all mind manipulation because our minds is an universe, and we have the power to make it work the right way, make it work the wrong way, and this is very difficult. And I think I'm talking too much. Oh, two people watching! Yay! I'm spelling my brain farts. What I think all about this. There's a lot of transformations. A lot of transformations. But just to end it, because it's about to happen at a certain time in the speech that I lose topics to talk about. So oh, I could talk about religion again, but people love that topic. People just love to use that to make stupid conversations and stupid arguments. Oh my god! Every time I watch a religious channel, I don't know. I immediately going to assume that that guy is going to launch a tiny bit of truth and gonna spell a lot of mumbo jumbo, religious mumbo jumbo. There is only one religion: truth, honesty, respect, and love. That's the religion of God. That's no other religion. And we have the capability of that. Amazing. Don't you know? Don't you know that? Everybody has that capability. But there's an alien factor here called money. And money gives you a false impression of power, which unfortunately is ruling this world because people are stupid and people don't understand that together they work better. Like these guys that are controlling the whole world, they have meetings, they work together, they are smart, they understand that. But we, the people that are massive, continue to let these guys fool us. It's amazing how people just don't want to bother if they have a job that is well paid, an expensive house, an expensive car, expensive clothes, expensive jewelry, and they are happy, they think. But if they look inside, they are not happy. That's the whole truth. I'm more happy with less than when I have a lot and I was not happy. I was spending a lot of money, but I was not happy because the real source of happiness is inside. It's inside here. No other way around, not in stuff. Stuff All stuff is made of light. Light is the main source of everything. Why do you think when you burn something, it starts to glow? It's returning to its original state, light. I wish, I wish people would start to see it so simple. And the earth, this whole stupid argument about the earth. Well, I'm not far away from guilt because I also went a little bit biased at the beginning. I'm human. I am faulty, but I had the discernment to look further and see the anomalies of it. And it's so simple to see the shape of our heart just by looking at nature. We just look at nature, and nature tells us a lot in what we eat. An interesting thing, every fruit has an entry point and another that looks like an entry point also. Very interesting, right? Nature is telling a lot of stuff, and we continue to not look at. Look, this looks like the magnetic fields of the earth, the spikes of the fields around us. Nature has a lot to tell us. We just need to look at it with seeing eyes. It's very simple. So, which shape do you think the earth is? Like a banana? Like a peach? Like a coconut? The coconut is a good example. The coconut could also could be telling us about the hollow earth. Many fruits are hollow inside. They have the seeds, tiny hollows. The kiwi doesn't have one, but many of them are hollow. Nature is telling us a lot of things, man. We just need to look at with seeing eyes. Oh boy, I'm talking about 32 minutes. Any feedback? You two people or one people? I don't understand this if I count also. No feedback. Okay. If I had feedback, I could talk for hours like I did with Flat Earth, but seems like if I'm not pointing that control topic, I'm no longer needed. It's interesting. Very interesting the techniques in YouTube. Thanks a lot for the feedback. This isn't an hard point of view. If you start to look with seeing eyes, too bad we much most of us live in cities and concrete walls and all that stuff, and we are losing contact with nature. That's our major problem. I had a good childhood. I spent a lot of time in the country. I ride my bike. I did a lot of stuff that helped me a lot, you know. I never lost my touch with nature, but I lost complete touch with science. Science made me completely lost it as the mumbo jumbo they spilled out. The fairy tales, like Ken Wheeler says, fairy tales, the unicorn farts. Yes, the natural law is the source of everything. I strongly believe that inside the Earth is the actual power, the source of everything. That's why they keep bringing us different subjects and all that stuff. I never saw a fucking video of an aeroplane flying over the geographical North Pole. They only fly of the supposed North Pole. They don't want to fly that place. That's why they focus Antarctica and the Antarctica Treaty, and the YouTube focus all day long on that shit. And YouTube doesn't focus on the real subjects. And when we see a good subject, he has few views, very few. It's like they manipulate. Yes, and they manipulate this. This is all based on algorithms, and they can be easily manipulated. Like some say, this is the YouTube. This is owned by Google, and Google is owned by a Jew. Many of corporations are owned by Jews. That's a strange coincidence. I really strongly believed if the World War II never happened, I think we would be living a joyful life with free energy, like your channel name, and all that stuff like the ancients. Why do we keep boggling how the ancients build those rocks that you cannot put? I believe so. It could be the entrance. Many people that research the hollow earth point that out, and the anomalies they detected there. If gravity, which it's obviously the electricity, if there's a hollow point there, we shouldn't notice the the inclination, because of the dielectric acceleration will be very similar, like that movie The Arrival, when they change from a place to another. It's they like joke with us. Look, this is how it works. See, this is how we enter the hollow earth, and people think as entertainment and a movie, and they are actually showing our acceleration works in our earth. It's very interesting when we start to focus our view on the correct points. We start to dissect everything. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's God connection. Our Creator, He put us up here for a lot more than this. A lot more, not to be rich. Like Tesla. Tesla, I think, was the could be. I'm strongly pointed to him being the so-called second coming of Christ, because of his intelligence and his completely obscurity that they put him in, and all his technology. Because I'm keep getting closer, not that term, getting to know that God is science, God is physics, God is electromagnetism, God is magnetism, God is dielectricity, God is light, God is everything that is energy. But people keep continue to argue on stupid subjects. I think the shape of the earth is not the most important one. Which flat earth it can be easily debunked with the north and south pole. Concave earth, the distance don't mesh up, and also the the seismic diagram, which geologists and seismologists study for years. So Stephen is saying that they are incorrect. Of course, they were not good. They are used. They are used in technology because there's interesting thing. People today buy things and don't bother opening them and see what's inside. And many technology out there is using Tesla and been using Tesla. There's an example out there of a video done in the 60s. I think it was in the 60s of a scientist showing the induction, and he shows a spiral coil connected like to a rod, and he inducts and he eats stuff like we use today on induction ovens. And he was doing that in the 60s, and we start using induction ovens in the 90s. So just the perspective of the lack of our technology to the known technology. I strongly believe that the ancients have had the ability to manipulate matter, create matter. That's why they were able to put those rocks in that shape and position. No other way around. They have to grow them that way. No wonder the pyramids don't have anything written on the walls. And if we look at the walls, they have a line, a noticeable line, as we can see that something was in there, like a fluid or something. Another mystery that they don't want us to know. The ancients were very smart. Now we are stupid. Completely stupid. And getting more stupid by the day. If you want to have a good laughs, go watch a flat earth video. You're gonna laugh for sure. They have the most stupid ideas I ever saw. I fell for it because I didn't research at the beginning well enough. But as soon as I started to research the thing, oh boy, I realized the complete bullshit I was. Not to mention that awful hangout that I had with Patricia Steer, DHT, whatever, that subrats, that Spanish, English, American, Canadian voice changer, lousy actor. They are all lousy actors. People don't realize that. That's why Hollywood sucks. All lousy actors. That's that hangout, man. Oh boy, I never felt so bad energy as that hangout. That was also a click. Yeah, bad actors, I might say, with lousy arguments. They really think people are stupid. But I see a lot of buying subscribers and comments and likes and dislikes. This is all controlled, YouTube. Very controlled. We cannot have a liberty of speech in here. If you have too much liberty of speech, you are going to be blocked. Completely put in the sandbox mode. No wonder I also all the people that come here is only to troll. And I innocently was thinking that this could be a good door to connection, but nope. I think it's the old school way. Get out, go out there, and connect. Especially with nature. Nature has a lot of things to teach us, and we need to start to be better to each other. That's very important. We need to bring the frequency of energies higher. We need to vibrate higher. We are so low. That's why there's so much hate. People don't get along. People don't understand. Everything is very accelerated. The system is constantly accelerating everything. And I don't know this next generation. I really don't want to think about it because I'm gonna look at my generation 20 years ago, 20, 25 years ago. It was a lot different, a lot different. Starting with the cartoons. The cartoons, all of them have a story, a teaching, something good in it. Now I look at cartoons, oh boy. I watched the video out there of a guy talking about a cartoon in HBO at 9 o'clock in the morning. Expose, how do I say, showing racism. We don't need to be racist. If America didn't fuck up Libya, Africa by now would kick America ass because Africa has more wealth. That's why the powers to be don't want Africa to grow. That's simple to it's logic perception to understand that. Just look at Libya, for example. Libya, Gaddafi was doing a lot of good things to that country and all the countries around there. He also talked about it in the UN. If I get shot or killed or whatever, Europe is going to suffer a migration. Look, ta-da! He was right, and America was wrong. And people should start waking up. If you have the power to change, the only population in the world that has the power to change anything, it's the Americans. So for fuck's sake, wake the fuck up, man. It's very simple. Look, research, dig in. It's not that hard. The truth is out there. They cannot hide that. If they hide that, that's their Armageddon coming. They cannot hide the truth. They only play that game of fooling, the fooling game. The Bible talks about it. The Bible has some parts of truth, but has a lot of man manipulation, and especially the fear. I believe the fear part of the Bible is all man made. That's the Jewish manipulation, like the Talmud, that people don't like to talk about it. The Talmud, a very interesting compilation of books that seems to be more useful than the the Word of God, which is very strange. I think the Word of God is above all, but yes, I see that. Look at this burst in flat Earth, and look at these people that come out in flat Earth. It's completely ridiculous. And I see that flat Earth is dying. They keep talking, this and that. That's why the drama came out. They have to put drama in the motion so that people will follow. Because unfortunately, most people like to don't like to follow ideas, like to follow drama and talking about other people. We should be talking about other people's ideas, not other people's personalities or whatever. That's each one. Each one of us has his own personality. That's another problem. The real problem is that this is not going well. And I look at my country. I'm on the edge of Europe. I'm in Portugal. I'm on the very edge of Europe. And now I'm actually, when I go out my door, I see Turkish people. I see whoa shit, Pakish. Oh, you know what I'm saying. Indian. All those people in the Middle East. I got them here. And the last family that I saw arriving, I look at them. Whoa, these guys are refugees, and they come in those SUVs, the Toyota. I think it's the Toyota SUV from Morocco's. Okay, this is not a refugee. When I talk about nature, it's like they are saying that I'm crazy or whatever. I don't understand. People are so disconnected with the true reality that they are connected with virtuality. That's a problem. Too many virtuality. That's why I don't like Facebook anymore. I hate that shit. That's not social media. That's control media. Because I had a Facebook with almost 5K friends. An interesting coincidence was when I was biased on flat Earth. Very interesting, right? But as soon as I started debunking that model, oh boy, they completely my Facebook turned to a ghost town full of empty friends or whatever. Meanwhile, I closed that Facebook page. I have a more strict one. I don't need popularity. Only wish people had a glimpse of reality, the real reality. This is all controlled opposition to reality. YouTube is doing that. Is controlling the true reality. We should be looking for the, like I keep saying, follow the money, find the phony. We need to search for the money keepers. Those guys are fucking all this. The world right now could be living everybody on wealth, good houses, good cars, everything. There's a lot of land for everybody, but there's a big problem. They want to meter your energy, and by doing that, they control you. No wonder population are on a damn. What's the English word? Fuck my life. Mass agglomerations of people, cities, as we call it. That's why they want people to be agglomerated. That's why they created controlled energy, which Tesla wanted to reverse. But unfortunately, The Jews, once again, JP Morgan, and all those guys out there were pulling the strings and fuck everything because they want to control everything. As we see, Europe now is controlled by the European Central Bank. The America is controlled by the Federal Bank. See any differences? Nope. All of them are farting money, basically. And now we are in debt because we accepted the euro and accepted all the money to stop agriculture, fishing, industry, a lot of stuff that we stopped, not stopped completely, but lowered down and received money for that. This is completely hilarious. So, once again, somebody was making money with all of this, and now we are in debt. We don't have, we are losing middle class. I see that my life is not getting better day by day, and I see the politics. Well, you just have to look at the World Trade Center. The World Trade Center is, and that manipulate the weather. The hurricanes is very simple to manipulate. If you know how to decelerate the acceleration that is present, you are gonna create a vortex. And if you have a submarine and a machine that can do that, simple. You have a hurricane created. An earthquake could also be created like that. This is all dialectic manipulation. No wonder we have the silly idea that is gravity that is holding all this shit together. That's why they keep on lying to us. That's not gravity, is an acceleration. Simple. If we create a deceleration, we create levitation. That's why when we go in low orbit, the ISS is in low orbit, we experience weightless. It's simple. We are further away of the dielectric acceleration of the Earth, and we are getting closer to the magnetic and force and motion, electromagnetic force and motion of space. Like Tesla said, space has no properties. Space is energy. We just have to look at things, like I keep saying, with the seeing eye. And we are going to fail a lot of times, like I did. I bumped into concave, I bumped into this, I bumped into that. But I came to the conclusion there are only two models, the geocentric and the heliocentric, that have calculations, experience, observations, and all that stuff that backs them up. And nature also. So I think we should be focusing on higher problems, especially America, because Europe is fucked now. We don't have any power. Nothing. We are. I don't know what we are getting. It's very sad. Meanwhile, the Jews keep saying no, but we are going to continue our race and no mixtures and no diversity and no multiculturalism and no that none of that shit. Isn't that a little bit of hypocrisy? Fuck my life, man. All of people can mingle, but they cannot. Okay, that's very. Now I'm starting to understand why Hitler didn't like a lot of the Jews. Now I'm starting to understand that. And that history of the Holocaust. I'm not saying that I'm an Holocaust denier. People died of hunger, bombings, disease, typhus. A lot of people died, but never the 6 million like they propagandized a lot. And still, I even haven't found any evidences pointing out for gas chambers and all that stuff. So a lot of a lot of things in history that are not very well explained. If you want to be curious, you should watch that documentary, The Untold Story about Hitler. I think it's that name. It's very has very interesting evidence out there, and people should be looking at is for the people that are causing the wars and making all this stuff because we have the technology to be free by now, like you in your channel name. We are free energy. No, we are free. We should be free by now. But nope, nobody's free. Anyone that thinks that is free. Do I have a link? Let me see. Do I have that video here? Mm, well, in my Gnosis lists, I have some interesting videos here also. Many deleted videos. Interesting. Hmm, no, that one I don't have it here. Curiosities, maybe. Oh, this one about the twin towers is very interesting. This explanation by this lady scientist, very interesting. This video, especially that every time I see that police car, which is half burned and half intact, very interesting how that could happen. This one is also very interesting. This man was eating uranium and plutonium and all that radioactive stuff, and he lived at the age of 91 years. Very interesting. Oh, this one is about the Titanic. No, I don't think. I don't think I have that one here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. The greatest story never told. It's this one. Check out my playlist. There are very interesting things out there. If we have the wrong history, how can we have a bright future? That's impossible. So, history is being corrected by uh, and all. Oh, I keep forgetting the names of people that went to court questioning the so-called evidence of the mass murdering. Ian Irving, David Irving. That's the one. David Irving. It's a good guy to watch. Very a very good, a very well speecher. I think it's Ernest Zundel. It's another one. There's a lawyer out there also. You just have to research. If you are willing to know the truth, you have to research. YouTube has the truth. I can guarantee you that YouTube has the truth, not a whole truth, but the gateway to the truth. The whole truth, that one depends on you and nobody else. That's why religion keeps you from having faith in other stuff, not on you. That's why religion will never teach you that you have to have faith in yourself. It's like you have God inside you. You are the temple of God. You are His creation. You are His fabric. You are just lost from His potential. These guys kept us on forgetting the potential. An interesting thing that the Israelites have the Kabbalah, which is full of truths, but they don't let that thing go out. I found a video about the teachings of the Kabbalah. I'm watching that. It's very interesting. The amount of truth in those videos, man, and they have few views. No wonder they control everything. That's why you have to start to get connected, because as soon as you got to get connected, you start to watch things, and it's like instantaneously you look, this is bullshit. The next clip you look, whoa, this is something interesting. You're gonna search for it, and for sure you're gonna find something more. It's like everything starts to get connected. The problem gets when you need cooperation. That's the problem, because one line of thought is weaker than a bunch of line of thoughts. No wonder the scientists want to gather around and discuss ideas, but I watch these hangouts. I don't see any ideas being discussed. I left two or three hangouts that have a little flat earth bias, but you can see the only one bringing actual science was me. In all my flat earth hangouts, I did a little bit of research. I was more inclined to the gravity, because that shit fucked my school completely. The moment they bring up the gravity stuff, and I question, but what the fuck is that shit? Oh, it's gravity, it's 9.8 meters per second square. It's gravity. But what is gravity? Nobody told me it was a fucking acceleration, an attraction. It's like you can call it kind of attraction. You, if you start to be very unbiased, you just have to jump. You experience a weightless point, and you feel an attraction, an acceleration, basically. But we stop to feel it as we touch the ground. But that acceleration exists. It's called mass. That's why we have mass. No wonder if we go on a mountain, we will weigh less, further away from the center of the earth, the center where we are. Everything is attracted to that center. And the sun is another big mystery that they want to keep. I believe that the explanation will not be that complicated, but they keep to tend to complicate everything. I keep saying every time I feel the sun touch my skin, I feel like a flow of energy dispersed in it. It's like my body is creating the heat, not the the medium. You ever try that? You should try that. Go completely unbiased, forget everything you know, be dumb, and put your arm on the sun and feel it's like your body is generating the heat and not the heat around you. It's very interesting. It's like a electric reaction. We are electric beings. Oh, and I saw a video, a very interesting video about a bacteria that has a fucking motor, you know? I think more electromagnetic I'm more inclined to induction, because light also works in that rate of induction. They call it speed of light, but that's bullshit because they cannot explain why the light get enters a glass, and it slows down, but as soon as it leaves the glass, it speeds up again. You know, it's like the medium of the glass slows down the light, but the medium outside the glass speeds it up again. It's like an induction going out there. Ball of lava, that's bullshit. Lava is made by radioactive materials. Lava is made by radioactive materials. That's why don't they ever saw a video of them bringing a geyser or Geiger counter to a volcano in eruption. That's why they keep the fear porn on radioactive. Radioactivity, nuclear bombs, and this and that. I looked for evidence of nuclear bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All I saw was everything burned out because at the moment everything was made of wood. So wood burns if you drop phosphorus. They knew about phosphorus at that time. That that thing was phosphorus bombs, not nuclear. That's why we see pictures of the supposed impact zone, and we see buildings and chimneys, those tall chimneys of factories standing up, right? So the nuclear bomb is very selective, right? That contradicts what they show us on those fear porn videos of nuclear bombs. They have big bombs, sure of that, but that powerful. Yeah, and those old videos of the nuclear tests are very hilarious, It's very now that we are used to such technology in movies and all that stuff, we look at that and see, whoa, this shit is so fake, man. I don't know how people buy this shit. Like that guy of the Glenn Wilson, he talks about swimming in the pools of the central the nuclear power plants. Oh, the moon landings, the petrified rock, and the missing telemetry. Those were the evidences that were kind of making me stick to that stuff. But as soon as I found those fake fake moon rocks and the telemetry gone, oh boy, these guys made that shit in the Hollywood basement, like Red Hot Chili Peppers. They say it. Not only Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's another guy. Who is it? Moby. There's another guy in this song that also tells the truth, which is very interesting. The problem here is that the truth is so scattered that, like I keep saying, if you're not started to get connected, you're not going to see it. It's like a spreaded puzzle. You need to keep dragging little piece here, little piece there. Too bad I don't have video abilities. There are good videos out there, full of bullshit, but with good stuff, small good stuff inside, you know. And interesting to see flat Earth. Even Eric Dubai at the beginning using geocentrism to bring flat Earth. Yeah, that's why they make rearrange new pictures and all that stuff. They are very careful, and they have the media to clean up the messes. But I believe that they have an ISS up there. I believe they have in a geostationary orbit. That's why they are near the equator, and they are following the ecliptic, which is very simple, like all the satellites do. Too bad they didn't point the camera up at the eclipse to show us a little bit of reality. And also, a real 24 hours, a real 24 hours video would be appreciated so that the light bending could be proved because they are always experienced light. That one, I give credit to Steven. He found it out and he's right about that. They up there are experiencing sunlight. Light is bending around the earth. The stars we see is retro projection. Electromagnetism. Space is all about electromagnetism, motion, force and motion. Like we see on those videos of quantum levitation, as you have a frozen object floating. Why do you wonder they put a lot of gold in the crafts? Because they know gold at low temperatures is a very dielectric levitation device. If you look at those videos of quantum levitation, they use gold plates. And up there in space is very cold. Very, very cold. And full of liquid helium, which is an excellent propeller for all the motions we see up there. That was the missing link to geocentrism, which I found videos of people, of guys from 2012, 2010, 2007 talking about geocentrism, but they didn't have the missing link from the motions of the planets. And the missing link is magnetism. When one in the morning, already 1 in the morning. By the way, quantum levitation, quantum physics is bullshit. It's magnetism. They just don't want to admit it. They even use Maxwell equations of magnetism to prove their quantum bullshit. In the morning, oh shit. Well, tomorrow is Saturday, is day off, weekend. That's why I can spend a little time here. And thank you for the feedback. It's good to have a conversation. You want to join in? That that could be a better conversation. Oh, 8 o'clock in the evening. We have a big jet lag, as they call it. Some more free music. I don't want any copyrights. Hmm, 2 hours. Okay. No, thank you. This YouTube is being very, very boring. Not having a feedback. It's good to have a feedback so I can have a proper conversation. I don't like to talk. I'm like talking to myself actually because I see my YouTube channel doesn't have a lot of projection, which is a quite shame. Yes, some thought provoking videos, but no, seems like people like more entertainment and comedy and all that stuff. Germany, Spain, Jerusalem. Any question you have that I could might have an answer? I would love to know it all, but I don't know it all, unfortunately. What's your opinion? What's the real objective that we should be following? I follow the more scientific one because I always loved science, especially chemistry. I loved chemistry. Too bad in school. Too bad in school I didn't have Too many experiences. Practical. We need more practical in schools. Kids are not well prepared these days. It's very book orientated. Not that's not good. We need practice, and especially we need a nature class. That's very important. You are all over the place. Well, energy is also all over the place. We just need to kickstart it, and that's the whole problem of this. It's the kickstart. Like the sun was a kickstart. I think that part of the Bible may be true. When God created the sun and the moon, and He created that perpetual motion in space, which liquid helium is allowing it to work. That's very important. Being creative, and I think more important of all is revealing the children's attributes. So giving liberty to express himself. So he could be understood what his potential is, because everybody is different. Everybody has different potential, especially those ones that have potential to be liars, greedies, and those people should be focused at the beginning and remodeled, because we have the capability of being remodeled, so we can have a society that is respectful, honest, and basically the heaven on earth. It's not that hard. Even the earth is giving is is speaking. Look at the earthquakes, the tornadoes, everything. Or either they are man-made, or is the nature telling that it's time to change things. Oh yes, that's no. Unfortunately, school doesn't have a constructive criticism and skepticism, which is very important, because every question should be questioned. Like my channel name is all about ask questions. It may be found may look stupid, but it's a question, so it must have an answer. Oh boy, here comes a more trolling comments. But yeah, that's the whole problem is the indoctrination. You have that strict line of teaching, which teachers all around the world follow. And if you break bounds of that narrative, you are going to be criticized and put apart completely. For example, I follow the electronics by mistake. Now I realize that wasn't electronics I want. I wanted I wanted more kind of electromagnetism that wasn't a class at that time because I never learned anything about electromagnetism in electronics, which is very interesting. I only learned a lot of mathematics. Oh boy, a fucking lot of mathematics. Maybe that's gravity made me do it. Because if gravity had a proper explanation, maybe I would follow physics and maybe I would be in another profession. Now I'm a dental technician. I basically forge, cast, model, fabricate, grim, polish uh, metal alloys for replacement of teeth prosthetics, which I found very interesting. Also, it's playing with alloys being closer to the light every time I cast an, an structure. I'm putting the metal closer to its origin as it glows, as it turns liquid, which is very interesting. And I believe it could also have a cold way to do it, which it's hard to find anything about cold reactions and all that stuff. Like that video I found about liquid oxygen as he floats between the two poles. We have the magnetosphere, which is the equilibrium point. Beyond that, you start to float. That's the barrier. And maybe there is where the oxygen is frozen and liquid and creating that blue sky that we see. That's why the videos you don't see we don't see the rocket showing a complete footage from beginning to end. They never show a complete footage because they are passing something in space that they don't want us to see. And that story of the firmament has some logic in it. It's not a physical um, firmament, but an, a field of energy that is blocking the mathematics have a major problem in my point of view. Mathematics work when we want to find one variable, you know, when we want to find one answer. Mathematics works at 100%, you know. But as soon as you start to bring more variables, you started to create the so-called abstract mathematics and the hypothetical mathematics, which includes the summatories and the probabilities, you know. Those are not exact maths. That's why these days we have these abstract theories of space and matter and evolution and all that stuff because they have the power to manipulate the result by adding variables. when we just need one. We just need one answer, not multiple answers, which they keep on giving us. That's the whole problem of all this. We need to keep everything simple, like nature. Nature is very simple, but we humans tend to complicate everything. Oh boy, let's complicate everything. No, this is fucking too simple. No, we need to complicate this. We need to create argument. We need to create discussion. We need to create debate. That's the fucking old problem of the humans. They don't resonate. They don't have coherency. No wonder they create everything, every sort of type of distraction you have. You have porn addicts, we have game addicts, we have shopping addicts, we have TV addicts, we have. Oh, let's not continue. The list is never ending. So the society created everything to create incoherency because you're gonna look at one thing man-made and you're gonna say no, this is beautiful. No, this is not because another man-made, which someone made it more expensive. I'm still trying to figure it out why everything is so expensive when everything is made of expense of low labor. So I don't understand why everything is so expensive. I don't understand why people, especially the American people that I see on YouTube, they tend to go to Mac and Apple and all that stuff. Do you guys know that you are paying a lot of money for a tiny circuit board? That is so tiny, man. That shit is so fucking tiny, and you pay tons of money for that shit when you can buy an equal and well functioning device with almost 6 times the price. That's the whole problem here. People tend to look at the materialistic side of things. That's not the way. We should not look at the materialistic way because they made those devices also. If you see, there's a YouTube channel out there. There is a guy that repairs apples and all that stuff of Apple. You should listen to what he says about those equipments as he repairs them. He's telling you the truth. He's telling you you are paying a ton of money for a device that is going to fail sooner or later, and you are going to pay another ton of money to repair it. That is stupid, man. I have my computer. I build it with the parts. One part fails, I replace it. I have my computer for about 7 years. The only thing I spent a lot of money was on the CPU because I needed some processing power, something to hold on. But the rest is upgradable. So that thing of having the materialistic side for me, I don't understand that thing. But yeah, the society brings that shit up in the TV ads and all that stuff. So it's easy to understand why people tend to be very materialistic. And if you continue that route, you are not going to get connected. Materialism, materialism is not the answer. My brother builds computers but tends to take what he likes from it. That's the best way is to build computer, your own computer. These days, man, you go to YouTube. Back when I built my first computers, oh boy, to connect all the wires and all that stuff. These days, all the connections are stupid made. This color goes to this color to this goes to this color. All things are color made. Back in the days when I assembled my first PC, it was a 500 megahertz. That board that you stuck on your motherboard, all the wires to connect, boy, the reset and all that stuff was a mess. Today, everything is a call. Okay, this must go here. This is blue. This is blue. Okay, this must go here. So everybody that doesn't buy his own computer and build it is being stupid because he's going to pay the brand, and sometimes the brand doesn't care about the consumer. He cares about selling. That's the major problem of everything. If you need a tiny upgrade, you should let him. What I'm seeing now is that everything is getting heavier for my CPU, which is a first generation i7. It's getting a little bit slower on the processing power, but he's still up for his turns around. Watch some videos, play some games, some League of Legends, which I don't play in quite a while. Oh, I have a spike of three people. Oh, me also. I need an upgrade. I have a very powerful graphic card because my other one but say bye bye. So I had to buy another one. So I bought another good one, thinking if my computer goes away, at least I have a graphics card. So now I have a bomb of a graphic card that doesn't bomb at all in my system, because my system is how the geeks call it is uh, throat bottleneck. Yeah, it's making a bottleneck. That's the term they use. So well, but I don't need it. If I was video editing, whoa, that for sure I would need another CPU for sure. But that's not my ability. My whole point here was trying to connect, but it seems very hard. I should try flat Earth again. uh, Flat Earth and those. Let's talk about people. I don't like it to talk about people. Let's talk about people. Those flat nerds. Patricia Stira also I question her. Well, why do you keep going on this route if you don't have a planetary system, a map? They can access explanations. Even the guy can shine, which it's good to watch all the models, because all the models have a little bit of truth. And the Geigenshine, exists, which is a retro projection of the sun, which I think the sun is making the Fibonacci sequence bending. That's why we at the sunset see that wrapping up of light, cur- curling up the colors, at the sunset. It's like the Fibonacci sequence there. And it wraps around the earth and illuminates what we see as stars. It's all retro illuminated. That's what they don't want us to know, and the ISS also knows that. That's why they don't put a 24 hours video, and why Jeremy kept on asking that, because that guy knows something about it. These guys that are promoting flat Earth, they also know that that model is wrong, but they want to borrow some money. But the ones that I enjoy the most are the religious ones, the false preachers, which the Bible talks about it also. Many false preachers will come and that and this. And we look at YouTube, the false preachers out there spelling bias nonsense, which God and the Kabbalah says about it. God is love and light. Interesting thing. Those guys saying that because it's the truth. God is love and light. Guys, God made everything with love and light. And by speaking, the sound, love and light. Why do you why do you think those videos that we see on YouTube about talking good things to plants and bad things to plants and the water crystals, how they shape on speaking, everything is connected. No wonder Tesla talked about energy is vibration and frequency. That guy that glowed, too bad he's full of lots of crap. A guy has to be very selective on what to see on YouTube. But a lot of people are waking up and coming out, which it's what's needed. It's a voice, like God had a voice and created. We can also have a voice and speak truth. It's so simple. Well, it took me 40 years to realize that. And I have to thank Flat Earth for it. Because Flat Earth woke me up. I don't deny that. That's why I have some videos about talking about it. It's not wrong to be incorrect. What is wrong is to continue to push that incorrectness, especially for profit, you know? For profit is even more shameful. It's parasitic. But these people don't have any shame like that the arch the age, or I cannot pronounce his name, doing that video about the compass and the North Pole on the flat disk. Hilarious. Hilarious how biased these guys are trying to be. let's just forget about the, oh yeah, profits for profits. The only thing that you should prophesize is facts. Everything, anything that you can pick it up and experience yourself. No wonder they diverge everything. But that guy, how biased he is, let's just forget about the North Star rotation and the equator that clearly shows what appears to us to be two different rotations, but which is actually only a rotating, only one rotation. A good example of that is a disco ball, and the light spots. They seem to have two different rotations according to certain perspectives. This is all about perspective, and we have a big problem because we are so fucking small compared to the size of the Earth. And if that guy is correct on my playlists, I see a guy very ferocious. When I see a very ferocious guy looking for um, proofs and facts on other channels and all that stuff, I start to believe that guy and his theory that he presents about the expanding Earth. And it makes a lot of sense according to the data that he presents. Makes a lot of sense. The expanding Earth. No wonder they say that the universe is expanding. So if the universe is expanding, the Earth is expanding also. This is only one giant magnetic field. Let me put this man made me like science again. Nuclear magnetism. So this is the fundamental principle of magnetism. This is the dielectric plane of inertia. This is where the Earth inside could be, because this is not a line which it looks to us to a line. Imagine this is in a large scale. This line starts to be like the ecliptic of the solar planets, where the motion here starts to rotate around, and here we have an attraction to the middle of it. Why do you put those films, those magnetic films, and you're going to detect a light here? This is where light works only. And around here, the Earth, this is a rectangle, but the sphere is also the same thing. This is where we live at the moment, where we feel the acceleration. Magnetism and the precession, everything that we see, the seasons, this explains everything. Magnetism explains everything and shows us also. Thank God, finally, somebody's bringing actual evidence. But yeah, magnetism is the key. And look at the campaigns out there now for magnetic stuff. Use magnetic to heal your back. Use magnetism to do this. Use magnetism to do that. And I strongly advise you to do one thing: is grab some magnets, some natural magnets, and keep them around you. They are good for you. That is a good source of dielectric energy. We are inundated of electromagnetic radiation, and I don't think that's good for our bodies. Even Wi-Fi and all that stuff, I don't believe those high frequencies are so good for our body. There's there are other ways of propagating. I'm not an expert on that, but according to all the evidence I see out there, like I keep saying, you just need a kickstart, a push, and then everything is connected. Well, I think I'm getting with a bit of angry. I'm gonna go and eat something and drink something. I'm getting dry, and thanks a lot for the feedback. I'm gonna lay low now until I start to see something different. I'm gonna keep on watching. I'm not going to comment, and like I said, I'm gonna really look at the people that are coming to my channel later. Thanks for being here. And oh, good for you. My cord of the microphone is not long enough to reach what I want to reach. Feels bad, man. So I'm going. I think I said everything I had to say. So yeah, that's it. Let's find the hangout. Let's stop screen sharing. And uh, and I'm getting sleepy also. Oh, good. Two in one. I think it's more angry. That's why I'm opening my mouth. So, peace out, people. Keep hanging to the truth. She's out there, scattered in pieces. Pieces, pieces. You just have to put them together again. It's easy. It's not that complicated. You just have to think, reach inside yourself, and talk to God. Easy. Peace.